After a heartbreaking loss last week, the Huskies look to bounce back against the Beavers.
And volleyball looks to set themselves up for the NSIC playoffs.
But first, the men's hockey team looking for their second straight sweep on home ice.
We're quick on the breakout, got it out of the zone. I thought we were strong.
Husky Mag starts right now.
Welcome to Husky Mag.
What's good? Welcome into Husky Mag. Thanks for joining us. Joe Scarella with Alexis Pearson, bringing you another jam-packed week in Husky sports.
Yeah, Joe, jam-packed is right. With so many sports in the midst of their seasons, there's definitely no shortage of sports talk tonight. We've got some football, hockey, volleyball, and everything in between.
But we start first with the men's hockey team, who is looking to continue their hot streak after last week's sweep over the Gophers. In the second week in a row, the Huskies were at home looking to get another sweep on the Olympic size sheet back at home after the big sweep last weekend, this time against Alabama Huntsville. This guy, Judd Peterson, was feeling good last weekend. Let's flash back to last Friday. Peterson with a hat trick. He didn't know it, though, until after a post-game scoring change. First Husky hat trick on the young season. But on Friday, first period, Wallen had the OT winner against Minnesota. He gets the Huskies on the board first. In the second period, however, Huntsville, they're not out of it. They were a little disappointed in the first, but Josh Kestner steals the puck. He goes down and snipes one past Smith's blocker, and the game is tied at 1, headed in the final frame. Jack Ashawn throwing one on net, and a pair of palings in front to tip that one home. Ryan was granted the goal, a funky bounce, and it's a 2-1 game. Minutes later, a beautiful pass from Nevalainen to Peterson, and you can't keep him off the board for long. Another look at that pass as Winnecke buries another one. Third period gets out of hand. Huskies storm to a 5-1 win. Kestner with the only tally for the Chargers. Wallen and Newell with the goal and an assist, and Peterson again fighting the twine. Well, the Huskies men's hockey team is bringing a new meaning to playing like a family. Last year's Minnesota High School state champions, Lakeville North, were led by the three Paling brothers. The trio decided to make their college days a family affair. Joining the Huskies this season, they've already made an impact. Nick Paling out for the first 4 games due to injury, but joining the lineup this weekend, filling the gap on that line. Ryan Paling, who skipped his senior year of high school, yeah, he's that good, and he's doing just fine at the Division I hockey level with a pair of goals and an assist. While the other twin, Jack, has a couple of points in his tally. Mom and Pop doing some things right in that house.
Now the Huskies looking for the sweep. The Chargers get on the board first. Josh Kestner streaking down the slot, baits Driscoll to drop and fires into the open net. Let's take another look at that one. Beautiful play by Kestner. Driscoll anticipates a shot to come to his blocker side while Kestner dekes him out. Second period now, Huskies on the penalty kill, but Patrick Newell takes a page out of Kestner's book and rushes past the Chargers defense to snipe one blocker side. Tied game. Huskies working the perimeter of the offensive zone. Borgen sauces one over to his defensive partner. He wastes no time putting this one in the back of the net. Huskies up 3-1. Knight for the Chargers now flying down the wing. This would find the back of the net after being directed in by a Husky skate, cutting the lead in half, but the Huskies aren't done yet. Judd Peterson putting on the brakes while looking for an opening, tosses it on the net and sneaks one past Uhelski. Huskies win this one 5-2, completing the sweep against Alabama Huntsville. Pat Newell tallies his second goal of the season and first shorthanded goal, while Jack Ashawn racked up his first goal on the season. The Huskies took advantage of both their power play and the Chargers' power play by scoring the only power play goal and shorthanded goals of the game on a total of 14 penalties taken between the two teams. The only 2 goals on the night for the Chargers would come from Josh Kestner and Cam Knight. Both of those goals would go unassisted. This is the Chargers' 7th loss on the season.
Offensively, we were outstanding. I thought we got in and smothered everything. We were quick on the breakout, got it out of the zone. I thought we were strong.
Taking a look at the USCHO poll for the week, a little bit of shuffling went on in these top 8 spots. The Huskies have moved up 2 spots from 10th to 8th after sweeping Alabama Huntsville this past weekend. The Huskies jumped over Minnesota State in the poll after sitting right behind them last week. And North Dakota is licking its wounds after suffering 2 losses to Minnesota Duluth this past weekend. Both Minnesota Duluth and Denver jumped over North Dakota, taking that first place spot while North Dakota drops to 3rd.
Judd Peterson has been on a tear this year for the Huskies. Now we are joined by Husky Mag reporter Kirsten Krull, who has more on number 18. Kirsten?
I'm standing outside the Herbrooks National Hockey Center, where earlier today I had the chance to speak to junior forward Judd Peterson about his role as an upperclassman on this team, as well as how he manages to keep the mood light in the locker room. Take a look. You're averaging 1 goal per game early on this season. What has contributed to that success?
I think it's just, shooting the puck more this year than I did last year, and it was like the same as, sophomore year to freshman year. I wasn't shooting enough freshman year, and I think when you shoot the puck more and, good things happen, you'll start scoring, confidence will come. So I think it's just, playing with confidence and shooting the puck.
And now being one of the veteran players on this team, what is your leadership role?
As an upperclassman, we have a really young team, and I think even though I'm not wearing a letter on my jersey, I still got to act like I do and try to lead the team in a positive way and, try to keep guys up on the bench. So, when we get down in the game, for example, like in Minnesota, we can make comebacks like that and just try not to get negative and stuff. Just keep the guys, in good positive attitudes.
And now rewinding to that Minnesota game down at Mariucci a couple weeks ago when you had your hat trick, where does that game rank in your hockey career?
I would say probably top 3 for sure. I got a lot of them, but I'd say that's definitely up there. Like I said, it's always nice beating the Gophers. You grow up hating them, and to score 3 goals, as a team you've always hated your whole life as a little kid, it's something pretty cool, and I'll never forget that. And
also, being from Duluth, does this game up against the Bulldogs coming up this weekend have any special meaning for you? Yeah, for sure. I think anytime you play Duluth, your hometown, it means something, especially when you got a lot of family, friends traveling to come watch and stuff. So, I think your adrenaline gets going a little bit more for this series, and especially when you go home to Duluth, your hometown, same thing. So I'm excited to play them. They're number 1 right now in the nation. They're a very good team, so I think we got a good challenge ahead of us, and hopefully we can keep playing the way we are. Now, you're known as one of the jokesters on the team. Yeah. How important is it to keep a light mood in the locker room when the hockey season can wear down on the players? Yeah, no, it's really important. You try to keep things funny, and try to keep the guys laughing. You can't always be too serious, and before the game, whether it's not trying to get guys laughing, but I do a lot of crazy stuff in the locker room, whether I try to announce for the guys, and they love it and stuff like that. So anything that I can do to keep them laughing, keep them loose, I think it kind of helps the whole team. Now, going off of you being a jokester, I'm going to kind of pick on you a little bit here. There was a clip of you that aired on TV for Halloween, and you said, "Happy Halloween, ho, ho, ho." How can you kind of defend yourself there? I don't know what was going through my mind there. I actually have no idea. I was just thinking Happy Halloween, all of a sudden I just started going ho ho, and then I was like, wait, that's Christmas. So that was a big mistake by me, and the guys loved it, and I still get guys coming up to me with the video, showing me the video and stuff. So it's pretty funny.
Now, Kirsten, these guys go through vigorous practices each week. Is having a guy like Judd to lighten the mood important on that team?
It's very important to have a guy like Judd on your team, because after you take a loss out on the road or even at home, you need to bring those spirits back up, and he definitely does that in the locker room.
Now, Peterson had a hat trick against the Gophers. Having a game like that has to have an impact on how the younger players view his leadership.
Looking at that hat trick, the guys definitely respect Judd in his leadership role. There's no better guy to look up to and try to emulate your play than a guy who had a hat trick against the Gophers.
Thanks so much, Kirsten. The Colonel and Black return to the Frozen Pond next weekend as the #1 ranked Bulldogs of Duluth come to town. The Huskies will have a tough task on their hands as UMD just swept the previously ranked #1 North Dakota Fighting Hawks. It's never easy, however, coming to the Brooks Center. Huskies perfect through 3 games at home. Puck set to drop at 7:37 on Friday. That game brought to you by Husky Productions on Fox Sports North Plus.
And the Husky swimmers took a quick trip south this weekend to compete in the Carleton Invite at St. Olaf College. They made quite a splash as they won 20 of the events between both the men's and women's teams. And the men had 3 200-yard medley relay teams placed in the top 10, including the winning time of 1:37.92. Reed Alex and Ike Erickson, members of the winning 200-yard medley relay team, were also part of the team that took second in the same relay at the previous meet. These two, along with Robert Lay and Connor Dietrich, found themselves in first place after their impressive relay on Saturday.
The women's swim and dive team has been dominating opponents this season as they were waiting at 7-1 before the Carleton Classic. In the 200-yard medley relay, Emily Tiedemann got the Huskies off to a fast start, but it was Bridget Odell touching the wall on the closing leg to give the Huskies the win. Carleton finished in second place, but the Huskies' second unit, anchored by Chelsea Agurki, was less than 1/1500th of a second behind. Tiedemann also took the top spot in the 100 backstroke as her teammate Paige Lay also found herself on the podium in third. The women's team had at least one member on the squad in the top 3 finishers in 12 of the 15 events.
And the Huskies will be traveling to South Dakota this weekend for a meet against South Dakota State University. Last season, the Huskies came home with both a win and a loss, as the women were the only team able to return to St. Cloud victorious. The Jackrabbits are coming off a win against their in-state rival South Dakota State, and the team is riding high currently as several Jackrabbits broke school records against South Dakota State. But the Huskies will be bringing their own firepower to the pool this weekend with swimmers like Andrea Bryson and Anthony Schwartz.
The men's football team was looking to do battle with the Beavers. Find out who got the W when Husky Mag returns.
Football is a sport that many kids fall in love with and get involved in when they're young. Some may never understand that it takes a lot more than their talent to bring them to a bigger stage. Megan Hedstrom takes a closer look at one player in particular.
It may seem as though passion, progression, and determination are what make a standout athlete. But to some, all it takes is...
If grit was going to describe one of our kids, he is a gritty kid.
Jerry Duckworth III. Many may know him as number 20 on the St. Cloud State football team. Although Jerry's talents shine on the field, he uncovers some hidden talents off the field.
Well, I don't have a setup here in St. Cloud right now, but when I'm back home, I like to play the drums. I haven't drawn in a while, but I used to draw a lot when I had a little bit more free time back in high school.
Not many people are gifted with both athletic ability and artistic ability like Jerry. But to add to both of those, he also possesses intelligence.
Actually, when I was younger, I was bad or whatever in class because I couldn't really pay attention too much. The work was too easy. So I took a test and kind of skipped it, went on from there.
And by it, he means the 4th grade. Jerry was able to skip the 4th grade, making him one of the youngest in his class. School isn't the only thing that allows him to excel on and off the field. Jerry believes that time with his family is extremely important.
I'm very close to my family. When I go home, we usually always have a get-together, go to some games or go watch my little brother play, spend a lot of time at home. I really don't try to see friends too much unless I'm there for like Christmas break, but if I'm going for a week or so, I try to spend it with my family.
And coming from Wisconsin Lutheran High School, one of the things that will always remain, his faith.
You have to know that there's somebody up there that's greater than you that gave you the ability to wake up in the morning and go to school, to be smart and actually play college football. And not many people actually get that opportunity. So you have to live it to the best and go up right.
Jerry continues his efforts on and off the field and is seen a leader for the Huskies by both his coaches and teammates.
Now a 3-game win streak snapped by a 1-point loss to Northern State, and the Huskies football team was desperately needing a win against Bemidji State on Saturday. The Huskies taking on the Beavers. Nate Meyer looking to get back on the winning way. He figured out a way to do it on the very first play of the game. Let's air it out and let's go to your #1 wide receiver, Jamison Parsons, with a beautiful catch as he gets both feet in bounds. On the very next drive, give it to your boy Jaden Huff and let him do the rest. He pounds this one in. Let's take another look. Even your quarterback, Nate Meyer, laying pancakes Huskies up 7-0. But on the very next Beaver possession, Jordan Hine under pressure. He locates Richards, who breaks a tackle at the 20 and is untouched on his way to the goal line. They knot it up at 7 apiece. But the real story in this one was the Beaver defense. They got to Meyer all day long. He was hit, he was dumped, he was pushed down, he was pulled back up, and he was pushed down again. The O-line was flat out beat all day long, not just in the passing game, but in the rushing game as well. But in the second quarter, Hine flushed out of the pocket, and he throws an absolute strike to Holder, who is going to take this one all the way down to the 1-yard line. They'd score on the very next play. Later, Hine from the 10, he steps up, he tucks it, he takes it, and he walks into the end zone. One of these teams was obviously the better, and Meyer knows it. The Huskies were bombed in this one, 48-7. Bemidji improves to 8-1 on the year. Meyer 219 yards through the air with no scores. Huskies fall through back-to-back weeks.
The Huskies are licking their wounds after that loss to Bemidji, and looking at some statistics on the season, the numbers aren't all that hot either, Joe. The Red and Black are currently sitting at an average of 24.33 points per game. Not very impressive, especially after only scoring 7 points against the Beavers. The Huskies have only scored 30 or more points on 2 separate occasions this season. Consecutive games against University of Mary and Minnesota State University Moorhead by scores of 41-7 and 41-38 respectively. Only 19 out of 135 on third down conversions, and sitting on the lower end of rushing and passing yards, and looking at a brutal 16 turnovers. And with only 2 regular season games left, time is running out for the Huskies to turn these statistics around.
After the win for Bemidji, they take the second spot all alone in the NSIC standings as they continue to chase the one-loss Bulldogs. The Huskies fall 3 spots and are now in 5th after the disappointing back-to-back losses. UMary and Crookston still at the bottom of the conference. The Eagles are 0-9 on the season and have been outscored 399-119 on the season. Doesn't get any easier for them as they take on Northern State and Bemidji in the final 2 weeks.
Huskies versus Gophers night 2. Huskies looking to bounce back, but the Gophers have other plans. Kara Piazza chases the puck off the faceoff and sauces one to Kate Chipper, who's getting pestered by Husky defensemen. Gophs go up 1-0. No more scoring until the third period. Some Gopher passing going on the blue line. Potomac waltzes to the front of the net and backhands a pass to Danny Cameronesi, who sweeps it into the open Husky net. And now the Huskies putting up a fight, but nothing going as Sydney Peters gobbles this one up. Gophers not very happy with the action going on around their tendy. However, the Huskies lose this one 3-0. The struggles against the Gophers continues with this shutout. The Huskies only able to put 9 shots on net, not challenging Gopher goaltender Sydney Peters much at all. And Janine Alder, who had 36 saves for the Red and Black, a rather impressive statistic despite allowing 3 goals. The Gophers, however, racked up the points. Cameronesi getting her 2nd and 3rd goals on the weekend. Team leader in assists, Sarah Potomac added some tallies to her chart, finishing the weekend with 1 goal and 5 assists. And Kate Chipper also tallied her 1st goal of the season.
It's never an easy task. The Huskies have had a tougher time with the in-state rival than any other team. Since 2012, the Golden Gophers have taken on the hometown Huskies 19 times, and all 19 have finished with a tally in the University of Minnesota win column. The Colonel and Black have been outscored horribly, 122-13. The Twin Cities squad has held the Huskies to just over 15 shots a game. Minnesota just proving how strong of a program they have. Some players make it look easy. What fans don't see are the hours of work and dedication it takes to be a successful college athlete. Husky Mag reporter Robbie Jackson stayed after practice with women's hockey star Julia Tilke to break down her success.
Robbie Jackson here for Husky Mag with leading scorer on the women's hockey team, Julia Tilke, right after practice. And Julia, how was it? What'd you guys work on?
Just working on some skills.
Yeah, like what? Got to perfect that shot, some of those hands?
Yeah, of course.
Silky breakaway moves?
Oh, yeah.
You like that move, the backhand forehand tuck against Merrimack that we saw, hey?
Oh,
You've done that a few times before.
Yeah, it's my go-to. Yeah, go-to.
So that's every time on a breakaway, that's your move? All right, well, I hope the other team don't see that. Julia, what can you attribute your early success to this year? You're averaging a point a game so far.
It all happens in the summer, putting in a lot of extra work, working on some skills, skating ability, hands, of course.
Yeah. Have you been set on one line pretty much, or been like rotating through people in the middle and the wing?
Well, anytime I'm with Lister, it makes my job easier, so stick with her.
You'll take those empty net tap-ins all day?
Oh, yeah.
Celebrate from your knees, too?
Yeah, 3 for 3 so far.
All right, now where's your favorite spot to shoot on a goaltender?
So far it's been low blocker.
Low blocker? From both sides or what? Like from your forehand side or from like
Yeah, so I'll come down on the right side and I'll do the fake to the backhand forward and then slip it right under, so.
You want to give us a little demonstration here?
Oh, sure.
Julia, thanks for coming out. Good luck this weekend. Thank you. For Robbie Jackson, UTS Sports, back up to you guys.
Julia Tilke has been lighting the lamp all season with 6 goals on the year. Only the dedicated stay after practice.
And coming up after the break, I'll sit down with national champion wrestler Brett Velasquez.
Husky Mag, we'll be right back.
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
I'm here with national wrestling champion Brett Velasquez. Now, Brett, the season is just starting, but let's talk a little bit about last season. So the team has won back-to-back national titles. Talk to me a little bit about what it's like to be a part of a team like that.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me, Alexis. I'll start with my redshirt year. It was a really unique experience getting to wrestle under Tim Prescott. He's coming off of good seasons as a JUCO wrestler, and we just banged heads all season. Steel sharpens steel, as they say. And Tim went on to be a national champion. I felt like I had a big contributing factor with that, practicing with him 3 to 4 times a week. And then my official redshirt freshman year, when I got to step out and compete in the Husky singlet, was an awesome experience in itself. But getting the chance to wrestle Tim off at the end of the year and coming out victorious in the wrestle-offs and getting to go on to regionals and win a regional title and then go to nationals, win a national title to help the team.
Now, there's been a lot of drastic roster changes in the offseason, so tell me how the team is prepared for this upcoming season.
For sure. Well, we're always grinding in preseason. We're always busting our tails there. But it's been kind of difficult with the 40-man roster cut. We lost a lot of good friends, a lot of good teammates, a lot of guys that are in the room just to push each other. Not everybody was on scholarship, but they wanted to genuinely be there to help each other get better as wrestlers. So that's tough, losing those guys who are always there wanting to wrestle. But the guys that we have in the room, we have 40 solid guys who are always in there. They all want the same thing. They all want to be individual and team national champions. So we're all working for the same goal, and we all have our eyes on the prize for the end of the season to bring that 3rd national title back to St. Cloud.
So now what do we have to look forward to at the Red and Black Classic coming up here?
We got a lot of really good matchups coming. We got some really talented freshmen that are going to be showcased in the Red and Black. We got a lot of returning All-Americans that'll be in the showcase. I won't be in the Red and Black, taking some time off for just a little bit of recovery time, but we're going to see some really good wrestling. We're going to see some good Husky-style wrestling, 7 minutes nonstop grinding, and they're going to be putting up points. It's going to be entertaining. And then we have that award ceremony afterwards. It'll be real cool to unveil the new team banner, and it should just be a great night.
So now the question of the night, what is it going to take for a Husky wrestling three-peat?
Just being consistent. I think that's the biggest thing. Everybody's staying healthy. Everybody's staying consistent. We have the team to do it this year. We're returning 8 or 9 All-Americans to the team. We got the depth. Right now we're currently ranked 1st in the polls, and we don't really like to look at that stuff, but I mean, it's cool to get the recognition. But I think the biggest thing is staying consistent, always coming into practice with that mindset that we're going to get 1% better, and we want to prove with that target on our back that we don't care. We're the best team in the nation. We're ready to go, and we're just looking to put up points and dominate wherever we go. It's not a big deal with the black and red edge. We always got that 1-point advantage when we step on the mat, and we're looking to just dominate all year round.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A lot to look forward to for Husky wrestling this season. Thanks again, Brett Velasquez.
Thanks, Alexis.
Women's soccer team
Taking on the Beavers in this kind of football, they were set to go in this one. Julia Clifford, she was feeling good, not just in warm-ups, but in the game as well. She was tested right away by Raquel Phelan, but Clifford parries away, and it's cleared. Minutes later for Bemidji off a corner, the first clear goes to an away foot, and the chance from the 16 is sent wide. The first chance for the Huskies, Maya Georgi, with lots of pressure, but punched out of bounds. A disappointing try for St. Cloud State. In the 5th minute, Rachel Norton with the cross. Danny Nelson tries power, but it's sent off the post. Rebound back onto her foot and finesse this time to the back of the netting. Bemidji State sneaks the 1-0 win. Huskies fall below 500. Maria Koss with only one shot on goal. A shot at redemption for the Huskies as they head to Bemidji on Tuesday. That 1-goal loss did not sit well with Maria Koss and the rest of the Cardinal and Black. An opportunity to put the pieces back together before the NSIC tournament kickoff next week. 5 o'clock start for the Wednesday night rematch. If you've got a phone, pull it out and follow us on Twitter at UTVS_Husky Mag for news, scores, stats, and the latest in St. Cloud State athletics. We've got you covered.
And with many sports currently in the midst of their seasons, one sport that has yet to start its regular season is men's basketball. And the Huskies will see 10 of their top 11 players return to the roster this season, including all NSIC selections Gage Davis and Scotty Stone. Davis's accomplishments last season are too numerous to count, but among those statistics is his impressive 19.7 average points per game and his school record-setting scoring of 570 points in 29 games. Davis's season looks promising after being named NSIC North's preseason player of the year. Now, Scotty Stone also had an impressive average points per game, sitting at 19.9. Stone's three saw nothing but net, finishing with 85 on the season, and last season he became the 39th player in school history to rack up 1,000 career points. St. Cloud State was ranked 3rd overall and 2nd in the NSIC North Coaches preseason poll and will kick off their season on November 4th against University of Arkansas Fort Smith.
Leader of the pack.
This week, we're giving this one to men's hockey player Jack Ashan. He tallied 1 goal and 3 assists this weekend in the Husky sweep against Alabama Huntsville. Not only was this the game-winning goal against the Chargers on Saturday, but it was his first goal on the season.
Jack Ashan was also named NCHC Rookie of the Week. The freshman extended his point streak to 4 games, including a +3 rating on Saturday, along with being named the game's first star. Well, we finally made it to our top 3 plays of the week, our Blizzard's Best, and I've got to tell you, this was one of the hardest weeks to decide our top 3.
It definitely was, Joe. With so many sports going on and so many players playing exceptionally well, it definitely didn't make our jobs easy, but here you have it, Blizzard's Best, our top 3 picks of the week.
Let's kick it off with number 3. It was Nicholas Nevalainen with the one-handed pass across to Judd Peterson. He tickles the twine on this beautiful play by the Huskies.
And at our second play of the week, we've got a little bit of football for you. We got quarterback Nate Meyer going long to Jamison Parsons. He's going to keep both feet in bounds on this play. Amazing catch by Parsons on this one. That's our second play of the week. Taking a look at that one, grabs that one out of the air, keeping both feet in bounds. Amazing play.
And at number 1, Newell steals the puck, and he's going to go all the way down the ice, coast to coast, on the short-handed opportunity. He sneaks this one blocker side. A beautiful play by the sophomore. The Huskies take the lead on that, and they get the win.
And that's all for our show. Tune in next week, same time, same place.
For Alexis Pearson, I'm Joe Scarella. We'll see you next time on Husky Mag.
For all of your local news. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
Here at UTVS News, we are always ready for a new day.
Welcome to UTVS News tonight at 6 o'clock.
Following the lead. The action.
Bench for the extra attacker. Down back.
The tragedies. the unpredictability, and the stories that keep our community informed and together.
UTVS News, local news for the Granite City.